The reason why the wrath of God is coming upon men is because that which is known about God is evident within them, for God made it evident to them. When a man tells me he is an atheist, I have to make a choice. Do I believe him, or do I believe the Bible? Because the Bible tells me he's not an atheist. The Bible tells me that God has made Himself evident to him. God made us. We have the fingerprints of God all over us. You know the one true God. So why do you run? Or why are you so apathetic toward Him? Or how could it be that He's just a tiny little insignificant part of your life? It's absolutely insane. For since the creation of the world, His invisible attributes, His eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood through what has been made, so that they are without excuse. Now I want you to understand this. There is something inside you that is constantly screaming out that yes, there is a God and you know who He is. And God is testifying to you in your heart of His reality, but you do not hear it. And then you walk outside, and everywhere you look in nature, there is an outward testimony. It is God screaming out at you. He is saying, you know me. You know the one who made this. Come to me. Turn to me. Do not be lost. Some of you say, well, Brother Paul, I look out and I see all kinds of chaos also. I see pain and suffering and futility. There's an answer for that. Genesis chapter 3. That God made man good. And God put man in a perfect world. But man disobeyed God. And when he fell, He took the entire world with Him. If you look at Genesis chapter 3, you see God's judgment upon fallen man. For the man, it says that he will work and labor in futility. Gentlemen, have you ever experienced that? Students, do you ever experience that? You're studying to get your degree, but every once in a while you get up in the morning and you just feel totally and completely hollow. Everything seems futile and useless. And you even wonder why you're alive. And some of you older men, you work and you labor, but nothing goes right. You exhaust yourself trying to make a way in this world, trying to find purpose, only to retire to your bedroom tired and worn out. All the dreams of your youth are gone. And all you do is work and try to survive. Even those of you who are very successful, you realize sometimes that it's just worth nothing. And you feel empty and lost. What's happening? I'm going to tell you. It's not only the judgment of God, it's the mercy of God. Every time you go to work and you experience nothing but frustration, it is God screaming out to you. You are fallen, fallen, fallen. You are broken. You are sinful. You are separated from me. You need a Savior. You need my Son. It says also that because of the sin of man, the woman would bear great pain in childbirth. And according to my wife, that is a terrible judgment. But also it is an act of God's mercy. With every pain in childbirth, God is screaming out to you, you are fallen, you are fallen, you are fallen. You need a Savior. God does not cry out to you about your sin just to make you feel horrible. God does not tell you about your lostness just so you will stay lost. God tells you about your lostness and your sin so that you will come to a Savior. He has left His fingerprints all over you so that you would know that He made you. In a sense, He put His laws in your heart so that you would know His will. And He gives you a conscience so that every time you break His law, it screams out to you, you are sinful, you are sinful, you are sinful. He has surrounded you with the beauty of creation so that every time you look at it, you see that there is a God. A God who is good. A God who is beautiful. A God who is willing and powerful to save. And then every once in a while, He sends a preacher or a Bible tract or something telling you, please listen. Why will you die? God does not take pleasure in the death of the wicked. Turn to Him. All the ends of the earth, look to Him and be saved. Because without Him, you have nothing. Those of you who are young, you strong young men, very soon you will be so weak someone will have to carry you to the bathroom. You beautiful young girls, very soon all of you will be terribly ugly. And no one will want you. Those of you who are wealthy, your wealth is going to rot because the redemption of a man's soul is very expensive. And no one has enough wealth to pay for their salvation. Those of you who hope in your own merit and virtue, those who think they have good works enough to stand before God, on that day you will know that all your good works are like filthy rags, and they cannot save you. And those of you who take great pride in your church and in your religion will discover that neither your church or your religion was strong enough to save you. Think about your own life. Think about your own sin. Is it not true that you have thought things so sinful that you could not share them with your closest friend? Is it not true that you have done things so shameful that if they were made known here tonight, you would run out of this village and never show your face here again? You know it's true. You've done it. You've thought it. You've said it. Even if your best friend knew some of the things you have said about him or her, they would no longer be your best friend. You are sinful. You are fallen, fallen, fallen. You are broken. You are sinful. You are separated from me. You need a Savior. God is screaming out to you, you are fallen, you are fallen, you are fallen. Why will you die? God does not take pleasure in the death of the wicked. You need a Savior. God does not cry out to you about your sin just to make you feel horrible. Turn to Him. All the ends of the earth, look to Him and be saved. Because without Him, you have nothing. In a sense, He put His laws in your heart so that you would know His will. And He gives you a conscience so that every time you break His law, it screams out to you, you are sinful, you are sinful, you are sinful. He has surrounded you with the beauty of creation so that every time you look at it, you see that there is a God. A God who is good. A God who is beautiful. A God who is willing and powerful to save. Why will you die?